Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. Coping and dealing with narcissistic rage. Narcissistic rage is not a pretty sight, especially when it's directed at you. It can be very confusing to see this tantrum-like behavior from someone who is being confronted for something common sense, something very logical, something very healthy and very normal. And so a lot of people really don't understand why they get this sort of reaction when just a normal request has been asked, maybe just some additional structure has been requested in the relationship, maybe some accountability has been desired to be established in the relationship. In other words, once you've been with someone for a couple weeks, a couple months or longer, you want to know where you each stand. You want to know, how serious are we? I want some accountability here. I want to know where we're at. Where are we with each other? How loyal? How accountable are we to each other? What do we expect from each other? What are the ground rules here? And, that's a natural and normal and healthy part of defining the boundaries and guidelines of a successful and happy relationship. However, the covert and overt narcissists generally do not react very well to this sort of structure or this desire to have kind of some form or shape or validity to the relationship. They don't like to put a finger on it. They don't like to nail it down. They don't like to set up certain boundaries or game plans. And in fact, they can be very hesitant to make certain plans with you. Either, long-term plans might be very difficult for them, or if you see that they are too inflexible with regards to their plans. For example, they want to know that they have you in the calendar for Saturday night, and they want to pull all the strings. They want to, kind of keep you dangling, but they want to let you know that, they want to know that they have you on the calendar for that day, and they're going to want to kind of tie you down for that day, but yet they're not going to want to disclose like what we're doing, where we're going. They're going to leave a lot sort of open and left dangling, and they do this really as a way to manipulate and keep you in control. And oftentimes, the people are not quite, people are generally happy to make plans, but not when, certain just details are not included or certain input is not permitted from both parties. And so you see this really sort of imbalance in the relationship where either they're very prone to making plans which are very rigid and not very spontaneous. They want to know that you're there, for a certain specific period of time or a specific day, or the same, we have our Thursday night, but that can really be a clue and an indicator that the narcissist is juggling other relationships around. A psychopath also is very prone to do this, where they have certain things in their schedule or certain dates on specific days of the week, and then they're not able to give you, say, but honey, I would really like to do this on Tuesday, and they are not very flexible with you to sort of work things around in the calendar, is because they probably have someone else who they have basically just, jetted in their calendar, who they have on a consistent basis. Or, they're entertaining new supply, quote unquote, and they don't have that sort of very structured, work schedule where they keep a lot open after their work schedule and can't commit to you. So these are really some kind of red flags to pay attention to. And if you feel that you're not satisfied, do not be afraid to speak up to them and say, but I would really, it would be really meaningful. I mean, it would be nice for you to be here for a specific event or such and such date for such and such reason. And, if you find that they're not meeting your needs there, then that is a big red flag. And, don't feel like you're asking too much by speaking up. You absolutely positively deserve and require to be speaking up in these situations. Because if you don't, you're just going to get trampled over. The narcissist and the psychopath really enjoy having a welcome mat, a floor mat to walk over. I mean, they really do. they really delight in having a lot of different, plates going in the air at once. So, don't fall into that where you feel like you're, second fiddle, third fiddle, you're playing, you're not really in the top slot where you're kind of giving them in the relationship. In other words, they're in your top slot, but you feel like it's not, reciprocal. And so always try to be aware and cognizant of these imbalances in relationships, either once you're getting started or even once you get into the relationship. Before it gets too deep, start calling some shots, start calling some discussions, start making some things aware. And, of course, it's a give and take in relationships, but if you find that it's really imbalanced and it's not working, open up some of these topics for discussion, see if you can make some headway and some progress, and start being heard in the relationship. Number one, if you're not being heard, then that's a really big red flag that you're involved with a narcissist, and it's time to, tighten up the bootstraps and put on, go into some discussions with them, and not combative, just very open-ended, not accusatory, just very open-ended, so you can get at least some ground rules, so you feel like, at least like you're on a level playing field. This is very important. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussions, and support.